Hello guys, hello and welcome to another day in paradise and welcome to another edition of the Unapologetic Negropian live. And guys, I've got to say this, I've got to apologize. One moment. I've got to apologize for my lateness, so I'm sorry about that. No excuse, it's just late. So, in today's video, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about the video released by Tiffany Banner a few days ago about the reasons why she left Tanzania. And we're going to be discussing whether the East Coast of Africa is the shining example of where people should be going, repatriating to live. I mean, can we repatriate to a place? It's not possible, really, is it? I don't think the majority of us diasporans, definitely the majority of us who are descendants of slaves, our blood isn't from there. Our bloodline isn't from there, right? So why are we even considering it as a place to repatriate to? There is a few reasons for this, and that's what I want to discuss today. But first, I'm going to go through you guys through the comment section. Say hello to you guys. Hello, Nicole. Hello. Yeah, that's what I mean, Nicole. I'm happy to see that you're still happy. Good to see you around. Kwame Aluwasami. I rate Tanzania for being so strict. I don't care how it affects me. I've lived in a country that had no respect for the citizens, and it's ugly to witness. It's very true. That's very true. And I don't think, it's anything to do about the strictness. That's not the problem. I don't think that she had. She had a bit of a problem with her dress sense or something like that, right? But I think the main problem is the way she was S3X-ualized. Yeah, I have to say that. I have to put it in that way. So I think that's what her main problem was. And so she struggled with it for one of those reasons, but we're going to get into that. Oh dear, let's have a look. Oh no, what is this? I'm actually signed in on another device, so. In movement, Biggs and TS love Tanzania. Why the association with T Banner? Because she was living there. She was living there until I think she moved out a few weeks ago. It might have been 5 or 6 weeks ago. She left there, and she came out with the reasons why she left. And that's another thing I want to discuss, because I think she was really hesitant, very, very hesitant to speak about it. I don't think, I mean, even me, what I'm like. I mean, the name of my YouTube channel itself will tell you that I'm going to say whatever needs to be said, regardless of, whether it hurts somebody or not. It's more about whether it's the truth, So if she experienced these problems, she should just tell people. We're adults, right? We're adults. And anybody else who turns their nose up to a woman being harassed, to a woman being physically assaulted, because that's what happened in the taxi. She was physically assaulted. If anybody else says that she's an agent, and she's there to turn people away from Tanzania and all this other rubbish, and I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Dr. Mengena, I didn't realize my Tanzanian cousins were bad. It has been a wish to visit TZ one day. It's still it's a beautiful place. And the thing is, though, I've traveled alone as well. I've traveled to Africa alone. I've traveled to the Middle East by myself. As a man, we have a different experience. We're going to have a vastly different experience in comparison to a single woman traveling on her own. Okay. a lot of people think that if you go into a Muslim country, you need to travel with someone. And the reality is it's got nothing to do with Islam. We're going to go over that a little later, though. Chanel M, looking forward to the analysis. Tiffany's story was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking for a lot of people who had hopes of moving over there. But the reality is it's her opinion. And that's what she was trying to convey to people in a story. It's like, hey, you could go over there and you could have the time of your life. Doesn't mean that you're going to have that. She went over there and lived there. She spent a prolonged period of time over there. And it was likely that something like this was going to happen. In fact, it doesn't matter where you go to live. Even if you come here to Europe, you're likely to get some hargy-bargy from the locals at some point, especially if you're a beautiful woman. You know, if you're a beautiful woman, you're going to get some aggro, some hassle at some point. Thank you, Mafti. Thank you very much. I don't even know how to put this up now. Oh, I know how to put it up. Thank you very much. You better not have anything negative to say about traveling, Sister James. Love her demeanor. She's my neo-soul type woman. She's married, you know. You know she's married, you know, Musa. I'm sorry she's taken. She is a stunning woman. No, I've got nothing negative to say about her. Basically, I put her on the thumbnail because I watched the video of her and this other guy. I've got his name now. And they were discussing the reasons why all these expats are leaving Tanzania. And I just found it interesting. I thought clearly there was some parity with what we were going to be discussing today. And I wanted to go over that too. Tanya, hello. Tanzania, beautiful country to visit, but I prefer Kenya. I've got to admit, I've heard a lot of nice stories about Kenya, simply because I've never been, but because it's a former British colony. It's a big country. It's a beautiful country. When I see a video of it, I just think, wow, it just feels like I'm in the UK, but filled with black people in a nice hot country. It's sort of weird. I like it from what I see anyway. Love to visit one day. It's expensive to go there though. So veins of African blood. I'm very happy TZ is keeping the Western minded fools out of TZ. These females want respect, but want to walk the streets half naked. Shake my head. You know, there's going to be a clash. There's always going to be culture clashes, right? She could have dressed decently in Western terms, right? And covered in Western terms. But, you know, in Tanzanian terms, it's like, yo, whoa, look at those ankles. I don't know. I'm just talking rubbish here, but that could be the case. You know, that could be the case that she had problems for that reason too. It's sad. Let's have a look. Keep it truth. Tiffany went Tanzania with 4 of her friends. She started to go through stones. She started to throw stones at them and fight with each other. One of them. Her friends accused her of stealing 1,000 shillings. Then went to media and bickering. No, that's sad. I heard about that, but you know, it's sort of hearsay, isn't it? And you know me, I'm the unapologetic Negropian. I never do hearsay. Never. So, let's have a look. Johnson Godwin. What is the meaning of all these videos? Black people are really in deep trouble. We're not in deep trouble. These are not big things we're talking about here. But the fact is that most of the people here are part of the community who have a focus on moving back to Africa. And these little problems, it's good to know them. It's good to have this advice. It's good to hear from other people who have been to Tanzania, other people who are here right now, other expats, repats who are living in Tanzania right now. It's good to hear their story. Yeah, let's listen to their. You know, they may have wildly opposing opinions on what Tiffany Banner said. Doesn't matter. It's likely that's going to be the case because, hey, it's likely that it's likely that you're going to have a different experience than Tiffany Banner, based on who you were traveling with, whether you were traveling alone or not, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, you know, how you dressed, whether you're a Muslim already. She's not a Muslim, right? And it's a predominantly Muslim country. So, so yeah. Johnson Godwin, what is the meaning of all these? Oh, sorry, I've read you already. Keep it the truth. She had no money flow, so no skill set, and what she does is to cause confusion between our lost long brothers and sisters. We Tanzania love African Americans and never had any issues. She does to get donations from AA. But when I watch her videos, it doesn't look like she's like begging for donations or begging for money. It doesn't seem that way. I don't know. If she was begging for donations, she would be coming online once a week, every week, you know, just once a week. She's not even doing that. Or is she? She's posting very infrequently. Doesn't seem like the kind of person who's gagging for money. I'm sorry. Let's have a look. E-movement. Tiffany ran a horrible tirade on an African-American YouTuber, Mark Meets Africa. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Regardless of what happened, Tiffany didn't deserve to be treated. Of course not. Absolutely not. And no woman does, right? Well, actually, I'm not going to say that. Most women don't deserve that. Okay? Okay, sorry about that. Let's have a look. Regardless of what happens, let's have a look. Does Tiffany represent ADOS? It looks like the way she does, and she causes division. We Tanzania don't appreciate that. We have Black Panthers since 1961 in Arusha. Kansas City. Yeah, but listen, she's not trying to say, she on her video, she was explicitly clear that it had nothing to do with where she came with Tanzania personally. She was telling you about her experience. That's it. And all of the evidence points towards her telling the truth. You know, she's not lying about it. If she was really telling the truth about it, she would have said it the day it happened. She would have moaned about it all the time. But because of our community, because of the way the community reacts to people speaking bad about a particular country, she kept it to herself. She kept it to herself for weeks. Okay, that's not somebody that's, oh, I'm going after them. No, that's not true. I'm sorry, it's just not true. And you know, I've never been to Tanzania. I've never been to Tanzania, but I know that it's a majority Muslim country. And I know that a lot of that country is heavily influenced by its Middle Eastern and Asian neighbors, perhaps too heavily, influenced. I have to say that. Let's have a look. Who else here? Eva Hardwick. She also accused fellow American of being a spy. Wow. Which American, Eva? She's Jamaican American, and at least she was honest. There you go. The black traveling sister was attacked by a Tanzanian taxi driver too. Wow. She fled to... What? I didn't know that. Are you being serious? Let's share ideas. I had no idea about that. What's going on? I love the Middle Eastern people I meet. They are super cool. Wow. You need to go and live in Middle East. But you know what, Nicole? You have a privilege, okay? You have a privilege. You have a privilege which most people don't have, you know, in your looks, okay? You're a beautiful woman. So when you go to places like this, men are going to, they're going to treat you differently. And that's just the way it is, unfortunately. If you lived in the Middle East, you'd be treated differently as well. I've lived in the Middle East, and it's wild. The men there are wild. You know, the men there that I've met, sorry, yeah, I've got to say that differently. The men that I've met there are wild. Wild. I'm going to tell you about I'm going to tell you about my experience in the Middle East. I think I've told you guys about this already. I've already told you guys about this, but I'm going to say it again. So I was sitting in Istanbul. I was sitting down. I was working all day. And I was watching. I'd come out for something to eat at my hotel, and I was sitting over the road, just sitting down. There's a place where you can sit at a cafe shop. Cafe. Yeah, I was at a coffee shop, and I was approached by a guy. He's just sat close to me, like that, you know, watching the sun go down. Hello, yeah, you know, it's nice. We just started petty conversation. He started conversing with me, no problem. And then he started showing me pictures of his wife. Like, what's going on? And she was in suspenders and stockings and that. I'm like, why? You know, why is this happening? And of course, he was soliciting me. It's been a long time. He was soliciting me to go back and, yeah, S3X with her whilst he watched. That's what he wanted. Now, you find that weird. That is strange. That happened to me more than once in the Middle East whilst I was living there. I don't know what it is about those guys, but wow. They have wild fantasies going for the brain. And fair play to them. You know, they want to live their fantasies. Fair play. I'm not going to knock them for that. It's their lives. It's your wives. You do as you wish. But yeah, that happened. It happened about 3 years ago. And that is just kind of, you're going to get a clash in culture. You're going to get people doing things because you are different, okay? You are different. And one of the problems some African Americans, not all, but some African Americans have, is when they go to Africa, they truly believe that the whole of Africa is just filled with black people because they've been taught, and the way they've been brought up, and there were laws, segregation laws, which were all about the color of their skin, right? That's what it was all about, and about their ethnicity too, I suppose. Yeah, so how they identified. So you had these people, they moved to Africa, and they believed that Africa is just filled with black people, yeah? One monotonous group of people, black people, everywhere, from north to south, east to west, and it's just not the case. We've been taught. I'm gonna say this because you know I'm from the UK. We were taught the same thing, that black people is the race of people, that we are a race. What's your race? You are a black person. We've been taught that, and we've grown up with it, which is totally false, absolute rubbish. It's garbage. And so we struggle when we go to Africa and we meet people of all these different ethnicities and tribes, and, you know, totally different, and races. They're different races. Africa is filled with different races. And I'm not talking about the Europeans that came to South America or the Arabian colonists up north. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the people that you would consider as being black people. They are not. They don't call themselves black people. They're like, they're just people, you know? And we've sort of stepped into Africa. Oh, do you know what you are? No. You can't be going in there teaching people that. And we're struggling with it. We think we can roll into Tanzania and, yo, do you know what? I'm going to slide right in now because, do you know what? You are just like me and I'm just like you. It's not the case. It's not the case. Even if they are of our race, they are completely different in terms of culture and ethnicity. They're so different, vastly different. They're aliens compared to us in the West. Complete aliens. They're like, you know, they're different people. We need to realize that these people are all different and see themselves as different. They're not just picking on, they weren't just picking on Tiffany Banner. They would have picked on anyone who was different, who was from out of town. Unless they were European, of course. And then they just, oh yeah, you're one of those, you know, one of those things. Let's have a look. Tanzanian culture is majority Muslim. People should put that in there. And this is the problem. This is another problem that we have, guys, right? Islam is a beautiful religion. It is a beautiful religion. I came this close to converting properly. At one point, kind of did, because I had to, because in order to get married to my wife. Yeah, so that's another story. But it's an incredibly beautiful religion, really. I can't even explain it. The problem people are having is not only are you listening to what the Western media are telling you, you're also listening to, watching the way the Middle Easterners, those in the Middle East, the way they act, okay? And it has nothing to do with the religion. It has nothing to do with the religion. The religion is awesome. It's got everything to do with them culturally, okay? Culturally, they are that way. They are different, okay? So this is the problem. This is a problem that we all we misidentify people all the time. Oh, you're a Muslim, so you were no. I used to speak to, very often, I used to speak to this Australian girl, white, blue-eyed, blonde-haired Australian girl who had converted to Islam, right? I don't see her very much anymore, but yeah, I used to speak with her a lot. And she spoke to me about Islam, the beauty of it. But she also told me one thing. She says, whatever you do, don't ever learn Islam from somebody who was born into it, who have it, or is of a certain culture. Okay, don't learn it from them. You need to learn it from a convert, because Islamic converts tend to respect the faith a lot more. They take it seriously a lot more than those who were born in it, especially the younger generation that was born into the faith. And they'd say, oh yeah, that it's a Friday, I've got to go to the mosque again with the family, and yeah, I'll see my cousins down there, yada. You know, they don't take it seriously, and they've been brought up that way. So for them to go to mosque on a Friday for Friday prayers, it's just you know, it's just a chore. Whilst somebody who's a convert, it's a serious day. It's serious. They're like, yo, it's Friday. I'm a happy person because it's my day. This is how converts act. They take it very seriously, and they would never act that way. They would never act that way towards Tiffany. They know that they are the messengers, would you call it? You know, representatives of Allah the Most High, right? They know that they are, you know, representing Allah. So they are not going to act that way. They know this. They've been brought up. They take the book, the Quran, they take it very seriously. Very, very seriously. They would always respect women. So the disrespect that you see coming from Muslims towards women, mostly women who are not of faith, that disrespect is not coming from the religion, it's coming from their culture, it's coming from the way they were brought up, it's coming from everything else. Believe me when I tell you that. Sorry guys, I'm going to take a listen to what you guys are saying. Yeah, good to see. Religion is not Africa culture. So why are we Africans claim to have independence? I didn't want to say that. Let's share ideas. I did not want to say that, but you said it first. Okay, you said this first. It's I had somebody, which is a subscriber, come on before and say, hey, Christianity is African. Okay, fair enough. You want to believe that Christianity is African, and oh yeah, some of Islam is African because some of the prophets, they came from Africa. That doesn't make, that doesn't make Africa Islamic. It doesn't mean that it was born here. It was made on the Arabian Peninsula, and the Arabian Peninsula, that's actually part of Africa, so it's African. I'm sorry, guys. It's no. It's not. I don't really want to offend anybody, but it's not. It's from somewhere else. This wasn't supposed to be a discussion on Islam and Christianity as well, anyway. But I just wanted to say that it has nothing to do with Islam, and that Tiffany Banner has her right to say that, to give her opinion, and I believe her 100%. Every word she said, I believed her. None of that was fictitious, okay? And it's just because of the way she has said it, okay? The way she said it, the way she's come out with it now and not earlier, 100%. Boko Haram and the other terrorists are Islamist people who probably don't know Arabic, have read a little bit of Quran, they barely pray. Yeah, but I can tell you this, Boko Haram are not, do you truly believe that Allah permits them to do what they are doing? I would suggest that if you've read the Quran yourself, I haven't read the whole Quran. The Quran is like the Bible. It's not one of those books that you just sit through and read, right? You study it. You study it. You study parts of it. You study the books of it. And then you absorb it in that way. So you can start to, I don't know, recite prayers from it. Beautiful thing. I miss Istanbul. I miss Istanbul, not about the requests I was getting, but for other reasons. I miss Istanbul. So where are we going to with this? I wanted to say that she's now gone to West Africa. And I think that a lot of people, I remember last year, I remember everybody, the ADOS community coming out, the ADOS movement. Yeah, I'm moving back to Africa, but I'm not going to West Africa. I'm not going to go to that place. No, I'm not going to West Africa because those Africans, those are the ones that enslaved us. Those are the ones that enslaved us, the ones in West Africa. So I'm going to East Africa, because East Africa is the best place to go to. Those people are chill. No, not right. Not right. Mr. Jallo, in his little boat, earning $1 a day, did not have anything to do with your great grandparents being enslaved. They've got nothing to do with it. Okay? And this is something we need to recognize, right? We need to recognize this. Those people have nothing to do with it, but they are still your people, right? Your bloodline is still there. Forget about the tribes, Forget about the tribes for now. Tiffany should think about the tribes, okay? Because she is from Jamaica, so it's likely she is of what tribe? Akan or Fante, right? Ashanti, right? Which means she could be Akan or Fante. So she is from there. Most Jamaicans are, right? Most Jamaicans are. So she has that link. So why bother? I mean, it's nice to visit, but why would you go and live in another place that is not of your kin? And I think that a lot of people have had they've had a tough time at this moment, believing that they keep believing that Tanzania is this sort of, this beautiful paradise filled with people that all look like them. And yeah, they do look like them to a certain degree, but they're different. They've been heavily influenced by Middle Eastern and Asian culture. There are many Middle Easterners and Indians living there. Many, many, many of them. I guarantee you those people who have come in, the Indians and the Middle Easterners, I guarantee you that those people see themselves as being at a higher level than the natives, which is unfortunate. They believe that. They believe that, trust me. So, you know, why put yourself into that sort of cauldron, you know? You know, and once again, she gave her opinion. I don't think it's right what happened to her. Clearly, what happened to her is not good. Absolutely not good. And she didn't deserve it under any circumstances. I'm going to say it. But it's to be expected because of who they are influenced by. I'm sorry, I had to say that. It's to be expected by who they are influenced by. They're not influenced by great people over there. And whilst Islam is a beautiful, beautiful religion, it's not native to Tanzania. It was brought there. And it was, I don't even know whether it was enforced on them or not. I don't know this, so I'm not going to say. But judging by the way most colonists acted, I wouldn't be surprised if it was forced on the people there. Right? So you can't look at Tanzania as this, you know, big, beautiful paradise filled with people that, even expats, there are plenty of expats there, right? Plenty of expats there. But everybody's doing their own thing. There's no community, there's no, you know, and I mean, you could see that actually, go back to Africa when he was there, you never saw him with a group of expats. It was just him on his own, on his jack, doing his thing. That's okay, you know, but, you know, he was clearly immersing himself into the, with the locals, which is something I would do. I like that. But, you know, you don't travel, if you've traveled from the west coast of America to Tanzania, you've traveled literally halfway around the world. You don't travel halfway around the world to meet your African-American friends from California, from the west coast. You don't do that. I hate that. I used to travel to places, when I was traveling to places in South America and stuff, I used to go off the beaten path. I used to fly there and pick up a ticket with a hotel, you know, from Thomas Cook or something. I used to fly to South America. And then you'd have these people selling these tours and stuff. I just used to leave those tours, just go out. I used to do my own thing. Because I knew if I went on those tours, guess who I'd be surrounded by? English people. And don't get me wrong, but no. I don't want to be hanging around with English people if I've just taken the best part of a 13-hour flight, you know, to the west coast of Mexico. No, it's ridiculous. Let's have a look at what you guys are saying. Escaping Babylon while desperately trying to find a livelihood. You have to be majorly prepared for such a transition. Exactly. And there's a way of preparing yourself, especially culturally as well. So there's always going to be a clash of cultures, clearly, but you need to know that this is going to happen. And once you know there is going to be a culture clash, you can prepare for it. You understand? You can enjoy it. I enjoy that culture clash. I really like it because it gives me that memory. It makes me remember the time. Memories is why we travel. It's why we do those things. You know? It's why I was traveling. I used to travel with one of those DK books long before smartphones. I used to travel with those books. I used to love them. Stick with them, read them, and, you know, keep them beside you. That's the way you're supposed to do it. Let's have a look. It wasn't an educated decision. She's 19, exploring. Many of us will make those mistakes out of ignorance, especially when we don't know our true origins on the continent. That's true as well. That's true. But part of the reason why she's traveling is to find her true origins, is to find her people, right? West Africa is such an incredible part of the world. It is. It's just an incredible part of the world. I wish they, you know, I hope they get their shit together. I really hope they get their stuff together, because, you know, the potential for it to just blow up, it's going to blow up. It's going to, right? And I want to be there whilst it's happening. I want to be part of that initial, you know, upbuilding of that particular country or that particular location. ECOWAS. I'd love to be part of it. I don't want to be one of those people that waited for everything to be, you know, to be built up, to be, you know, I want to have the electricity cut off. Yeah, I want to be part of that. I want to move there whilst it wasn't the thing to move there. I really don't want to go to Africa believing that everything is sunshine and rainbows. I know it's not, and she shouldn't either. I don't think she did, actually, but I don't think she, but clearly if something like that happens to you, you're a woman, someone touches you, you're going to get vexed. Nicole, you still here? Nicole, has anything like that happened to you? Let me know. It'd be interesting to hear. Tiffany had money. It's the maltreatment that she didn't know she would receive. You cannot prepare for how people will treat you. I disagree with that last part. You can prepare for it, right? But regardless of whether you're preparing for it or not, when it happens, and you hate, you know, you're going to dislike it regardless. It's not that because, oh, I was prepared for somebody to grab me up in a taxi. I remember that. I knew someone was going to try and do it. Okay, so I'm going to get over it much quicker. It doesn't work that way, right? She was always going to struggle with that. So you have that. She went back. She's in Ghana now, I believe. I believe she's in Ghana now. She's enjoying herself there, and I'm happy to see that. Happy to hear that she's enjoying herself in Ghana. It's an expensive place to go. She said she was short on money, but it's an expensive place to go. Ghana is. I think it's $150 for a COVID test. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. $150. We're here in the West. We don't pay $150. We actually get our tests done for free. I don't know if you get your tests done for free. Do you get your tests done for free? Because we get our tests done for free here. You just walk to a test station and they just give us a PCR, or they give us one of those quick ones, whatever we ask for. $150, and then you got to pay for your visa, and then you got to pay for your ticket on top of that. And you're flying in Africa, which is not the cheapest place to fly around in, is it? Africa is terrible when it comes to flight prices. It's insane. So she's flown to Ghana. She's going to have to spend more money, you know, so it's not going to be easy for her. I can tell you that. It's not going to be easy, but hopefully, yes, hit the like button. Yes, please hit the like button. Thank you, Deborah. Hit the like button. That'll be well appreciated. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much for that. Go Black to Africa is a man, and even, had a problem in Ethiopia and almost got assaulted as a foreigner and had to recalibrate the countrymen to calm so they didn't turn on him. Yeah. People in Ethiopia are not big fans, and I don't want to generalize actually. There are a group of people in Ethiopia. There are a group of people in Ethiopia that don't like anyone from West Africa, not only anyone from West Africa, but anyone from the diaspora either. And I don't know why. It's kind of strange that they are that way, but they are. It's kind of weird. Yeah. No love lost, you know. I still think they're beautiful people. So it's a shame that that is the case. It's likely if you go to Ethiopia, you're gonna, unless you're Jamaican and you have dreadlocks, you're gonna have problems. So Tiffany Banner would not have any problems in Ethiopia if she's of Jamaican origin. Her parents, she's first generation Jamaican, right? Like me, okay? So she's first generation. She wouldn't have any problems there if she went telling people she's Jamaican, because Jamaica has that link to Ethiopia. And I believe she said she was getting her Jamaican passport, which is a very good passport to have on the African continent. You know, people will treat you differently when they see that Jamaican passport. And you can get into many, because clearly they know that a lot. In fact, she could have gone to Ghana without a visa. It's visa-free travel if you're Jamaican, if you're a Jamaican passport holder. So, and they're not the only country that do visa-free travel for Jamaicans in Africa. I've got to check that out. It's a good passport to have. American passport is not a brilliant passport. Everybody thinks in America, oh yeah, it's a brilliant passport to have because you can go anywhere. No, you can't. No, you can't. And you most certainly can't go anywhere safely. You can forget Iran. You can forget parts of the Middle East. I don't know if you know how the visa system works in China, right? But I'm going to tell you how it works. Russia do the same thing too. So for a Russian or a Chinese person to go into America, they have certain rules and regulations, and it's quite strict, isn't it, for a Chinese or Russian to go to America. So what the Chinese and Russian authorities did is they copied the American entry system to the T. So whatever you have to do for a Russian person has to do to get into America, an American would have to do to get into Russia, or an American would have to do to get into China. So for me to get into China, it's cheap. It's not expensive for a visa, but for an American, it's very expensive, because for a Chinese person to go to America, it's very expensive. They just copy them and just say, well, you know. So it's sometimes it's good. Jamaica is a you know, it's a country that is developing, right? And when you have a passport from one of these nations, they know that the country is developing. They're not going to charge huge extortionate fees for visas. In many cases, they'll have visa-free travel for those people. So yeah, I'm just going to check more. Mixed with Indians and blacks. It is a mix at Zanzibar. It is in the, I know people say it's in the Indian Ocean, but you know, keep out the riffraff. Yeah. Where did you learn that from? Keep out the riffraff. I don't think she's a bad person at all. I think she's really, you know, I'm not just saying this because she's Jamaican. You know, clearly there's some, you know, parity, but she is in a lucky situation. She has some link to Africa that she knows of, okay? So she is highly likely she is of the Asante tribe. But the Asante tribe was assimilating other tribes all the time because it was a big tribe, right? And that was the tribe that was in charge, basically, of taking in the slaves for the British, right? I'm going to tell you a story now, and you're not going to have heard this. And she should know this story as a Jamaican. She should know this story. So a lot of the people that were enslaved in Ghana on the Gold Coast, right? Those people that were enslaved were from this big tribe that was assimilating all these other tribes like the Fante and the Akan tribes, right? It was a big tribe. So the Akan tribe and the Fante tribe, these people were at war. It wasn't just like, oh, sorry, take me to the English people. No, they went to war with one another. They went to war. And a lot of these British, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to I don't have my iPad now, damned. I don't have my iPad now. I'm going to try and find it for you, okay? I'm going to try and find it for you in a minute. I'm going to try and remember the story, because part of the story I wanted to get out for you so you could look it up for yourself, because this is not a lie. Jamaicans. Oof. Okay, so the Akan and the Fante tribes, those were being taken over. A lot of the people that they went to war against, these warriors that they were fighting against, they took as prisoners of war. And in the early half of the transatlantic slave, gosh, I don't even like calling it trade. It's not a trade, is it? But anyway, in the early half of that, what the Ashanti tribe was doing, it was giving the prisoners of war, the ones that they caught, and they never killed them, they were giving these prisoners of war to the British. And the British were putting them on their slave ships, and they were taking them to Jamaica. So there was one period where they were just taking these prisoners of war, right, to Jamaica on these ships. I can't remember the number out of the top of my head, but it was somewhere in the region of 60% of the ships. I believe it was 60% of the ships during that time of the passage. 60% of the ships made it. 40% didn't even make it to Jamaica. Why? Because they were putting these prisoners of war, trained killers. They were putting these trained killers in these ships as slaves to work on farms. So these you're not talking about some dudes, you know, they weren't just guys that were in the jungle somewhere. Oh yeah, we just picked these guys out of the jungle. You know, they were swinging on the trees. You know, yeah, we just picked them up, bung them in the cage, and we're just giving them to you. No, these guys were highly trained. They were really good at creating special types of hollow weapons. Okay, these weren't just some dudes. So what they were doing, they were sticking these dudes on the slave ships, and they were escaping, and they were killing all the people. I mean, shit. I shouldn't. I laugh at it, but for me, it's funny. It's great that they escaped and invaded the British and the Ashanti tribes. I really like this story. So a lot of these warriors made it to Jamaica and set up their own little townships deep within the interior of Jamaica. They used to go out and they used to go to these places. A lot of the ones that actually made it onto the plantation, they did the same thing too. They never used to just, oh, I'm escaping, way in the water, none of that sort of stuff. Nah. They didn't go anywhere. They went back in to the plantation and they took everybody out. Everybody, man, woman, children, but they didn't spare anybody. And all this was happening over a certain period of time in Jamaican history. And they used to go into the interior, and they used to live in the interior of Jamaica, of the mountainous regions of Jamaica. You know, they used to live there because it was very, very difficult for the British Army to find them. Very difficult. So they used to live there in peace, and those towns still exist today. They still exist today in the Jamaican interior. So it's wild. This is something. This is where Tiffany Banner came from. This is her heritage. This is her bloodline. You know, these are the types of people where she stemmed from. Now, if you check up, I don't have my iPad now. I don't have it with me now. But if you check up that story just there, the British made legislation, and that clearly, this is how you know I'm not lying about this. There was legislation put into place to make sure that the slave capturers didn't take these particular people anymore. They banned them from going to Jamaica. They didn't want them anymore because they knew if they caught them, the likeliness of them escaping and killing their captors was so high that it just was not worth it. The insurance companies in London wouldn't insure those ships anymore. They just stopped it. Tiffany Banner's people, Gold Coast, warriors, pretty cool. And this is why a lot of Jamaicans, you go to Jamaica, you got a lot of attitude. Of course, you got a lot of attitude because most Jamaicans stem from this bloodline of brutal trained warriors. Okay, a lot of them do come from this. Not all of them do. Once they stopped it, they had to get slaves from somewhere else. But that was during the latter part of the transatlantic slave. What is it? Whatever it was. So it was during the latter half of that. So it didn't last for long. So there were other people, other tribes that were mixed in with the Jamaicans. But in general, the people are hardcore, man. They came from a place where they were born in the fire. Let's just say that. People, I'm sure people in Africa there because let's have a look. So yeah, so what I'm saying is she's stemmed from here. She's come from this place. She has a lot to learn. She's a lot of history that she should go back into. She should not be, she should not have her, rose-tinted glasses on and say, oh, Africa is beautiful, let's go to Tanzania. And Tanzanians are very different people, extremely different people, okay? It's like the difference between, it's on the same continent. It's like the difference between someone from southern Spain who has, his heritage also on the African peninsula, So the Spanish people are quite dark around that area, the Gypsy Kings, those types of people, yeah? They're different. They're called Europeans. And then you have the Suomis, right, who live in northern Finland. They live in Europe, but they don't look like European. They look Asian, but they are indigenous of northern Europe. And you got these people living in southern Spain. They're European, but they are different. It's clear that they are different, right? I shouldn't even have to explain this. There is no such thing as white people. Oh, yeah, they're white people. No, I'm not even sure who made that up. I'd be lying if I told you that. But there is no race called white people, okay? I'm sorry to bring that to you, but absolutely not. And there's no race called black people either. There are many races in Africa, many races, many ethnicities, and we are very different. So you cannot go to parts of Eastern Africa and believe that you're just going to be welcome like you would have been welcome if you came to Nigeria or to Ghana or to Benin or Sierra Leone, okay? Those people know your story. They know your story. A lot of them are ignorant to it. A lot of them don't like us as, let's be honest with ourselves, us as not former slaves, but we are descendants of slaves. I don't even know why that would even be a thing. Oh, you're a descendant of slaves. Just shut up. You know, so what? So what? We were born in the fire, we survived it. The reasons why we are here, there's a reason why we are here, clearly. Guys, do any of you guys have any experience of Tanzania? Any positive experiences? I'd like to hear some positive experiences. And do you know what? Let's invite some of you. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so I'm going to get you guys to invite a guest. Copy clipboard. Boom. So yeah, has anybody got any? Tell me about your experience. I would like to hear your experience. I'm going to post the. I'm going to post that there. Yeah, so it'd be really interesting to hear whether you prefer the West Coast or the East Coast. You know, and clearly the countries along the West Coast, they're so varied. You know, there is a massive difference between Namibia and Nigeria. They're alien to one another. Africa is huge. Remember that. You could lose the United States in the Sahara Desert, including Alaska. You could lose it inside there. It is massive. The African continent is incredibly big. So you've got to remember that. You've got to put that into perspective, put that into your mind, right? So the people are clearly going to be varied and different as well. We shouldn't be, this is a no-brainer, right? Sorry guys, I'm going to take a look at what you've been saying. Are you saying this is why Jamaicans shut people for no reason? Jamaicans don't shoot people for no reason. There's a good, you know, I mean, that's very, that does not happen. Anyway, I'm not even going to bother. Come on. That does not happen. For sure, my ancestors showed Angola. Oh, really? Is that the case? I'm going to add Chikuwangu to the stream. Oh, they're gone. What happened? Come back. Tiffany is a baby. She has so much to learn, and her bravery is part of the blessing of her youth. Let's not discourage that. Most of us wouldn't even have the guts to do what she's doing at her age. That is very true. That is very true. And we got to respect the fact that she came out of her comfort zone. But she said she hated the United States of America. She said she would never move back there. She said that she would never move back to the United States. So clearly something quite traumatic has happened to her in the United States. In fact, just living in the United States, traumatic, is a traumatic experience, right? Can be for some people, right? Can be really nice for some people. I'm not a big fan of I shouldn't say the United States, New York. I'm not a fan of the culture of New York. That's where I lived. I just don't think it's, I don't know. It's not better than where I live now. And there are better places, you know. I think I probably overhyped it in my own head as well. I think that's part of why I was perhaps a little disappointed with the city. It's nice in the beginning, but I lived there for 4 years, or almost 4 years. And after the first year, you're like, I don't know. I had enough of this. High vibe, for sure. My ancestry showed and got. Where are you from? You African American? What is your ethnicity? Harlem. I can't stand. Nicole, are you happy that clearly you're happy you're in TZ? Harlem's changed though now, hasn't it? In the last 20 years. Last time I went to Harlem was 20 years ago, believe it or not. Last time I was in Harlem 20 years ago. And it was still kind of rough then, but it had its own vibe. It was nice. You felt sort of at home, but now I believe that all the people with the man buns are starting to move in. Yeah, they're coming up from the village because it's cheaper. They're starting to move in. They're starting to take more and more. They're hiring the prices, the land, of the rent, of everything else. Hi, Tone. Tanzanians do not hate African Americans. I believe Tiffany's story. It can happen in any country. Not all Tanzanians are that way. I am Tanzanian. I have been treated that way too. Oh, wow. That's incredible. That's, well, that is amazing, but nice to know. It's nice to know that, I mean, but we kind of assumed that, didn't we? We assumed that not all Tanzanians are that way. I'm going to let Joyce add Joyce to the stream. Hello, Joyce. Are you there? Add Joyce to the stream.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You sound like you got an English accent.
Yeah, I'm in the UK.
What part?
Buckinghamshire. Buckinghamshire.
Ooh, Buckingham. Oh, nice. Rather nice. Nice for some. How's the weather?
Oh, it's all right.
Oh, nice one. Nice one. Good to hear you. Are you off to Africa at some point? Or have you been? Have you been to Tanzania before?
No, I've not been to Tanzania. I'm from Africa, actually, but I live in the UK. I grew up in the UK.
You see that? I made the assumption that you were sort of that you were Caribbean.
No.
No. Sorry about that. Which country are you from?
West Africa.
Which country in West Africa? No, I'm a joke. No, you don't have to answer that. I'm just playing with you.
Yeah.
No, okay. And have you ever been to East Africa?
No, but what I'm seeing online looks very interesting. I would love to go one day, just to see how it's like, but I've never. But I do hear that they don't like West Africans, so I'm not sure. But they seem like lovely people, though. Yeah.
Yeah, where's that come from?
I have no idea, but I can see they're lovely people, so I would love, because I've got like friends from East Africa in the UK, and they're lovely. Have no issue with them. They're very nice, and I love the food. I love everything. I'd like to try. I'd like to visit it one day. Of course, I will visit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to a few one restaurant in Birmingham, which was an Ethiopian restaurant. I went to another one in Amsterdam as well. Loved the food. Food's delicious. People are really nice, ultra nice. I've only met nice East Africans before. I don't know where this trouble is coming from, or whether there is even this trouble. I mean, clearly she is a single woman. Have you ever traveled by yourself before?
No, not like to Africa. To Africa, to my country, that's fine, but not to East Africa. So I do understand. I feel sorry for her, but in a way, was she missing with the people, with the culture? Because a lot of people who come from abroad, they don't like to mix with the people. So do they mix with the people there, like the culture, like the natives? Did she mix with them? But what they did to her, like trying to harass her, is really wrong. It's not right at all.
She did mix with them. On her video, she was telling people, "Hey, I'm coming to Africa. I'm not coming here to she wanted to be there with the natives, But when she felt like the natives rejected her, she started to look for more repats and expats that were living in Tanzania, and she didn't sort of, which was strange, really. She said she wasn't able to find any community in Tanzania, but there are plenty of communities of repats, African Americans, Jamaicans as well, British Jamaicans too, there in Tanzania. So I'm not sure what part where she's living in, whether she's living in Dar es Salaam or wherever. I have no idea. So I hope that she is in a better place now and she can mix with more repats. But I'm just hoping that she doesn't do that. She sort of focuses her mind on mixing in more with the locals in Ghana.
She's gonna love Ghana. Ghana is beautiful. Ghana is beautiful. She's gonna love it. It's good that she mixed with the local. If she mixed with the local, she's kind. They're gonna help them. They're gonna help her and try and navigate her a little bit around. So yeah, but Ghana is beautiful. She's gonna love it.
Yeah, and I'm not. I have never been to. I have been to Ghana. Sorry, years ago. I haven't been back there in a long time. The climate has changed in Ghana and throughout West Africa. Actually, now that we have, because when I was there was no such thing as this group of countries that formed together, ECOWAS. There was no such thing as that. So I'm just hoping as ECOWAS develops, as it becomes more mature, as people start to travel more between those countries, as trade begins even more between those countries, that we get some sort of change in the attitude towards some people. Not a lot. I'm not saying that it's a majority, especially in West Africa. Most people in West Africa.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Sorry. Mean. Yeah. I said I understand what you mean. You're right. And
this is the delay.
Yeah, and I noticed that ladies traveling by themselves, they have a lot of challenges as well, like with people harassing them. So I guess,
I never got that.
I think because you're a man.
Because
you're a man.
Yeah.
I think in some countries, some countries, they I don't know, they just love, like when they just look at ladies, I just feel like they can take advantage of them, but not good. But I'm sure, like, she'll be fine.
I was in Egypt with one of my exes. I was in Egypt. Sorry.
You can go on. I can hear you. You can go on and say what you want to say.
Did you cut your neck? Yeah. I was in Egypt with an ex, and somebody propositioned me 5 camels. 5 camels.
Oh,
and to this day, the biggest mistake I made to not take those 5 camels. Really.
Wow. So
I'm not.
You're like you're a traveler, so you're very known. You know a lot of countries, so you've traveled like to a lot of places, I guess.
Yeah. But when I was traveling through Africa, I was going there before it was a sort of a thing. So, I was going there. I had a camera with film in the camera, so I could take photographs. So that's how long ago. There was no cell phones at all. We didn't have a cell phone. That's crazy. Things have changed a lot. And when you're talking about West Africa, you're talking about Africa in general. You're talking about a part of the world where mobile technology is at the highest. You know, mobile phone usage is through the roof in Africa as compared to other places. You know? So, should people be? Shouldn't we be surprised that there are a lot of people especially in West Africa, who are still doing this staring thing, staring at foreigners as they walk by? I mean, that's wild that they're still doing that. It's not like they don't have Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, you know, to be honest, yeah. Even me that I've been abroad, like I've been here for a long time. When I go back home, people still stare at me and they know I haven't been in the country for a long time. So it's not only American, the Caribbeans, African Americans that this happened to, or white people. It happens to people who have lived abroad as well, that is actually native to the country, because they do know. I don't know how, but they do.
Yeah. I understand. When I went back to Jamaica, I get the world of stares. You can't blend in. They know you're not from there.
Yeah,
even me, they just know. It's like, yo, what are you doing here? It's like that sort of look. When I was in the Gambia, same thing happened there. I did everything to blend in, so I didn't wear any jewelry, wore some old shorts, sort of like an old t-shirt. So I was the worst dressed people there, because I was going around some sort of market in Serekunda or something like that. So I went around the market there. I made sure I dressed like a bit tatty clothes, because I just thought, oh, they're Africans, so I want to blend in with the Africans, you know.
Yeah.
I stuck out like a sore thumb, because everyone else is well dressed. You know, they dress like West Africa. You know that the Parisian West Africans are the best dressed people on the planet by far. Right? No one else can even come close to them. So they know how to dress. Right? What you're seeing, what I was doing, it was my first time on the continent, and I was reading in. Oh yeah, let's see the news. Let's see what they wear on the news. Oh, they wear tatty old clothes, and they don't wear shoes. And so I bought into that like an idiot. Like an idiot.
Funny.
But this was before the days of social media. There was no social media. There was no cell phones. You know what I mean? I suppose I've got no excuse really, because also all the Africans that I knew in Britain, the ones that I had met, they were all rich. And I don't mean just kind of wealthy. I mean, they were all rich. I didn't meet any poor Africans until I went to Africa. I knew they existed, but I didn't meet any before. So it's not like it's not like I was totally ignorant of the fact that there were lots of wealthy Africans flying around doing their thing. It's just me being ignorant, I suppose. And I suppose I need to be more careful. But like I said, I was being watched. And as a man, it's fine. But as a woman, clearly you're going to feel that. It's not going to be. You're not going to be comfortable to be in a situation like that.
Yeah.
Especially if you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Is that your son in the background?
Yeah.
How old? Can I ask how old? About?
1.
Oh,
It's 1 year old.
Mine's 1 as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah, mine's 1 as well. Yeah.
Nice. Do you have a daughter or son?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
I do.
How many kids do you
she's
have?
Really 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow.
But the other two are in where are they? They're in college.
College. Oh wow, they're all grown up. Wow.
3, yeah. So I've got 1 still in high school, 2 in college. So yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. One of them's doing pre-med. Huh?
Pardon?
One of them's doing pre-med. They're both on their way to Birmingham University.
Wow.
So my daughter's on the way to Birmingham. Yeah.
Wow, that's smart.
Yeah. Well, he's just finished actually, so he's going into med school proper. But you know, about time. He's 23 years old, right? 22.
Wow. Ooh. I have lots of grown-up kids. That's really good.
No more for me now, though. I'm finished.
Yeah. You never know. You never know. You can have more, like twins or triplets can connect. You never know.
No, man, I'm too old. I'm too old for this. I'm getting too old. Do you remember who knows Danny Glover? Do you know Danny Glover? The guy from Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
He's an actor, the guy from Lethal Weapon. Do you remember when he was saying, "Oh, I'm too old for this"? He used to always say that sign, "Oh, I'm too old for this."
Yeah.
He was 40 years old when he first said that line.
It's young. 40 is young. I
know. Makes me feel old. Sorry. I'll get back to the subject. Sorry. Anyway, so that's what I'm trying to say. So anyway, that's what I'm saying. She should go more into meeting the people, the locals.
Yeah.
In West Africa. She should not be afraid.
Yeah.
She's not going to have the same vibe that she did. And it looks like it. If you see all of her pictures, she looks very happy.
Yeah. Oh, well, I wish her all the best. You know, wherever people find themselves, Tanzania, East Africa, West Africa, North Africa, and you fall in love with it and you're happy, that's fine. And if you feel safe, that's fine. At the end of the day, our roots is in West Africa, but wherever you feel like, it depends on you, wherever you feel like comfortable, then go for it, right? And you feel safe, go for it. So, because your peace and your happiness come first. So, yeah, we're all one at the end of the day. We're all human race, and we have the same blood that comes out of our veins, out of our bodies. So, yeah, let's love, and you know, wherever you go, just find peace. You just stay. You know, that's why there's a lot of options out there for you. But West Africa is beautiful, especially Ghana. Ghana is lovely, so she'll love it there. She'll love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I love what you're doing. I love your work.
Thank you very much. Keep watching.
Don't give up. Keep going. Keep going.
Stuff coming up.
Keep going. I can't wait. I can't wait. Keep exposing these people.
Oh, boy, it's not something. It has to be done, right?
Yeah,
somebody needs to
do it. Yeah, keep exposing.
Somebody needs to do it. But I just wanted to thank you, Joyce, for coming in. I just wanted to tell you guys that, you know, Tiffany's not a scammer or anything like that. So I know sometimes I speak about people on this channel. A lot of people are like, wait a minute, why are you putting my name up for? Not everybody we speak about are scammers, okay? It's just that sometimes people get confused with what the African continent has to offer for them. But thank you, I'm not 105 years old, by the way. People get confused with what's on the African continent. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. It isn't, especially East Africa. You shouldn't feed into that, because I think a lot of repatriates are going to Tanzania. They've been surprised by the culture, and they shouldn't be. They should learn about it in the first place. And if you learn about it, then it makes it easier for you to adapt once you go there. It's not Tanzania's fault. Tanzania is the way it is. You know, it's just, you know, it's an African country, you know, that has had history, and most of the people there, from what I saw, they're really, really nice. And clearly, Tiffany Banner wouldn't have stayed there for such a long period of time if everything was nasty all the time. So it's more to do with this traumatic experience that she had. That's the reason why she left. It's not because the country is terrible. clearly the country is very nice. There are lots of people who've gone to Tanzania to live and they are never coming back. It's like, it sucks you in. Africa is like that in general, right? It sucks you in. You go there, you're like, you don't want to come back. There is nothing back there for you. And that's because most repats, they go to Africa and they realize they're not black people anymore. They're just people. I'm just an ordinary person. You were always an ordinary person, but you don't feel it until you go back there. And people are looking at you because they know you're not from, they know you're from the West, but they know why you're here. It's a beautiful thing. I'm going to read some of your messages. Your services, the same playbook is getting used today of divide and rule. Indigenous Africans share the same ancestor. African kingdoms had people from various ethnic groups. Well, define ethnic. An ethnicity, the reason why Barack Obama was called the first black president is not because he's black. Clearly, he's of mixed race. His mother was not black. His mother was white. But he saw himself as African American and he saw himself as black. So it's how you identify. That is what an ethnicity is. It's how you identify yourself. You cannot just, I know a lot of people are doing it nowadays, saying, "Oh, I'm Asian," even though they're the white or whatever. A lot of people are doing that these days, but you cannot change who you are yourself as a person. You cannot change your genetics, and that is what your race is all about. Your race is about your genetics, where you come from. It's about your physical being. Ethnicity is totally different. So, you can say that, oh, we've all come from the same ancestor. That's true. But people in Europe can say the same thing. Oh, yeah, we came from that same ancestor, because everybody came from that same ancestor. But I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. Colsons. Yeah. Let's see what else you guys would say. Jamal Omar. Obviously, you haven't been to Nigeria, Ghana, or the Ivory Coast. I've been to Ghana. I've never been to the Ivory Coast or Nigeria. Hoping to go one day. And why is that obviously for? Sir Will, is that for me? I will never live in a place I can't never tour for its beauty. That's a shame. But you can. Like I said, this is just Tiffany Banner's experience that she's sharing with you. But now that you have that information, you shouldn't take it in. You shouldn't scare you. You should use this information now, right? You should use that information now. Oversight. What we do, we take this information and we make a strategic plan on how you can avoid certain bad things from happening, and whilst hiring the chances of us grabbing the opportunities. That's kind of what we do, and that's what you should do. Risk management is, it's about everyday life as well. You should be using and implementing the things that we know about risk, the way we live our lives. Should be implementing it into your own lives as well, on how to avoid disasters from happening. Guys, I didn't tell you, right, but Oversight now has its own YouTube channel. It has its own YouTube channel. I haven't posted the link. I'm going to post the link afterwards, but it has its own YouTube channel, and you can go and join it as you will, or you can just search for Oversight, but with 2 V's, OVVERSIGHT, and it's unlike, there's 10 videos up there at this moment. If you want to learn a little something about how to avoid happening in Africa, there is good information. The videos are less than 5 minutes long. None of them are longer than 5 minutes. So you can go there and you can take a look and see if there's anything there that interests you. So that's Oversight, just OVVERSIGHT, okay? 2 V's. No, not .com. There is a website coming very soon as well. It's under construction at this moment. That is oversight.com. That is under construction. But for now, if you want to learn something about how you can avoid things like this happening to Tiffany Banner, you can go to the YouTube channel. That is Oversight, Strategic Risk Management. But just put in Oversight with 2 V's, it will come up. And afterwards, I will put the link in the description so you can get there and take a look at it for yourself. We'll be posting videos very regularly on that one as well. Okay, guys. So let's sum this up. Okay, guys, let's sum this up. Let's have a look. It is the same emotionally charged reasoning that makes people demand for automatic citizenship without thinking through the logistics and the practicalities of what it takes to be a citizen. Exactly. What these people don't understand is that there are people that have been waiting for years for their citizenship. And now you've come in, you know, I don't want to wait for years. I want mine now. I want my citizenship now. There is a process. There is a process, and everybody has to follow that same process. You know, what makes you special? Why should we listen? You know, that's what they are doing. Why should we listen to you? What have you got to offer us? Does the Gambian government even want? Well, clearly they don't, right? Russ, that would have, the vote late last year would have gone towards Blackseat's in Blackseat's favour, but clearly, you know, there is a good chance. There is a good chance that it could happen in the future. I don't think we should be fixated on citizenship. We don't need it. I've lived in loads of countries before. I never needed citizenship. Why do we need to act this way for? Yes, I will. I found it quite a good video. So yeah, I will be covering it. Tomorrow's the 15th. I think I will be covering it tomorrow, but I actually wanted to cover it on Friday when more people would be around to watch it, and I wanted to do it later, and I wanted everybody to come on. So I think I'm going to do a live on Friday evening my time. It'll be during the day for you guys. I'm going to do a live so we can discuss this video, because a lot of what they say on this video about Blackseat is true. That's unfortunate. It's literally Blackseat is a liar. You can't dispute that. It's been proven, right? It's been proven, and that's a really sad thing to say. It's a really sad thing. But you know, if you're a company, you're working, excuse me, you're working in a particular sector, you're in a particular country, you can't always blurt out the truth all the time. You can't tell people about your legal status and that type of thing. You can't do that. So in some cases, you're going to have to lie. As a company, sometimes lying is to your competitors, or you know, to that those types of lies are okay if you're a company. What's not okay is lying to your clients or to your customers. That's not okay. You should never have to lie to your customers. Just think about it. Think about the integrity she has lost, because it's come out now that, hey, you know, she's been telling people she doesn't sell land, and there's people that have bought land of her. They're going, well, it's such a sad situation. You know, you don't build these types of companies without covering your back. The reason it took me 6 months to build Oversight to where it is now, and we haven't even started yet, was because I was constantly having to cover my back, constantly. I was looking to develop a system, a way where no one could start poking in and start poking holes, because I've got a lot of enemies out there. I've got a lot of enemies, and a lot of these people are criminals. They know how to infiltrate organizations. So I had to make it bulletproof. I had to make it bulletproof. So yeah, I forgot what I'm saying. You can't, you cannot lie to your customers at any time, and she has them. Do you know what? We're going to discuss this. Let's discuss this on Friday. I'm going to invite this particular YouTuber onto the channel on Friday, so she can tell us her story. I actually think she was on the live we did before last week. So let's see if she'll come on again. I find it, Dickinson Adventures, I find it really fishy that most of the diaspora YouTubers showcasing Africa are scams. Most of them? No, I don't agree with most of them. Certainly the majority of diasporans moving to Africa are absolutely not scammers. They're good, law-abiding citizens. That's the African law-abiding citizens, not the American law. No. So, yeah, I don't agree with that. The infrastructure in Rwanda, Uganda, Eritrea, Burundi, Tanzania, etc. can't match that of Ghana. That's very true. That's very true. You've got a lot of work to do over there, especially in Eritrea. But listen, Eritrea, countries like Eritrea, I mean, they're long behind because there's a reason for all that, you know. It's like a country that's cut itself off from the outside world. It's such a sad, and do you know what? Where are those Eritreans running to? They're running to Saudi Arabia, out of the frying pan into the fire. Let me put my microphone back in so you hear me better. The infrastructure in Nigeria is just crazy. It's beautiful. You got to have seen it yourself. You know, I'm not going to keep raving on about Nigeria, but really incredible country, and Ghana is up and coming as well. Oh, we're going to go over this at some other point. I'm not going to go over it now. Okay, if not for knowingly renouncing your citizenship like Black Sit in the Gambia scheme is suggesting a simple stamp on the passport for automatic citizenship. Automatic renouncement. You know, you can't renounce your British passport. You can't renounce your British citizenship. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can't renounce it. So I don't know if Black Sit has said this, but you can't renounce it. The only way you can lose your British citizenship is if they take it from you. And the only way they can take it from you if you've done something like committed not mass murder, like an act of terrorism or something like that. It's the only way they can take a British passport off you. They can't do it any other way. And they are very strict with that. You know, I had a friend of mine who wanted to live in Russia, Belarus, and this person wanted to live in Belarus but wanted to keep his British citizenship, but you can't do that in Belarus, right? So as soon as you get your British, your Belarusian passport, you have to destroy and renounce your British citizenship. So what he did is he had to go to the British consulate in Belarus, I forgot the name of the capital city, but yeah, he had to go to the British consulate and he asked for them for a letter to say that he's renounced his British citizenship. He wanted to renounce it. And they were trying to tell him, you can't. You cannot do it. And he went back to the Belarusians and told them, we can't do it. And they said, you have to do it. You don't have a choice. So he went back to the British consulate to have his citizenship. He said, listen, I need to get my passport. I need to get my Belarusian passport. Please, I need to renounce it. And they said, give us your passport. And they cut the ends off it, wrote him a letter. There you go. You've renounced your citizenship. Whenever you want a British passport, just send off for it again. That was it. He said, we can't officially do it. You can have that. You can show them that, and they'll tell you that you renounced your citizenship. But it's never renounced unless they take it from you, and they can't take it from you. It's very difficult for the British. So it's very difficult to lose that British passport. I don't think she's renounced it. You can apply to give up or renounce your British citizenship or status. If accepted, you'll get a declaration of renunciation. You can use that to show that you are no longer British. That is not the, but that's probably the truth. That's probably the truth, actually. That's probably the truth. But if you get it, you see, the problem is that the British don't want British people to have a mechanism to get out. It's nothing to do about you being British and being loyal and, hey, we want to make it difficult for you. They want you to make it difficult because they don't want people giving up their British citizenship so they can live in the Cayman Islands and take taxes and go without paying taxes to the British purse. You understand? It's all about money, right? It's not about, oh yeah, you're British, we want you to stay British. It's about them having that piece of paper saying that they own you. Okay, you can apply for it. Oh yeah, I'm going to apply for this. Yeah, they're not giving it you. Give me a break. How many people have you known to renounce their British citizenship? I don't know any. Let's have a look. Nancy, what did you say, Nancy? Brexit is done and over with. She will be history soon, and with her lies and games. Well, she is. I don't think she's going to be history. She's a tough lady, you know. She's a tough lady, and I'm still here hoping that she changes her ways, you know. The people aren't fighting her or attacking her. They just want her to give them what she promised them. They're out of pocket and they don't have land. They don't have either. You understand? It's a really sad situation. And they overpaid for the land in the first place. We've got this Tanya who comes on here quite often. She paid over $100,000 for her land. In the Gambia. That's quality, it's clearly quality land, it's 5 acres, right? So, you know, you pay for what you get, right? Pay peanuts, you get monkeys. Are all British people subjects of the state, i.e. does the state own you? Of course they do. Of course they do. It's horrible. I wish you know, I don't think I'd ever give up mine. You know, I'm not one of those people that wants to just give up my British citizenship. But I don't know, maybe one day when I'm a little older, I'll change my mind. I don't want any affinity with the country. I speak with a British accent. I'm called the unapologetic Negropian, but trust me, I'm not one of those people. Yeah, you're never going to see me with the British flag behind my head, sitting there like an airhead. Look up travel state government. It tells you how you can renounce your citizenship as an AA, the exact way Blacksett described in her automatic citizenship scheme. Oh, as an African American. Yeah, you probably can as an African American. I don't know. I don't know about the way the rules and regulations work for African Americans. But I would suggest that it has a lot to do the same way as well. It's difficult. It's a difficult thing to do. It's not like you go, you know, I just don't want to be British anymore. Let me just write this down in an application and tell them why. And they're going to be like, okay, then, yeah, there you go. Bye-bye. They're not like that. They've put a lot of money into you. They've put a lot of money into you, and they don't want you to go. You are, once you've given up that citizenship, you don't have to pay taxes to them anymore. You don't have to pay taxes to them anymore. And do you know what? Are they going to let that little cash cow, that little tax cash cow just run along? No, they're not doing that. Of course not. That birth certificate, that's a receipt. That's the receipt that they keep. If you read on your birth certificate, it actually tells you that this is not officially your piece of paper. It belongs to them, same as your passport. It belongs to them. They just lend it to you. Yeah, there you go. It belongs to them. Do you know why? Because you belong to them. Let's have a. You'd be crazy to renounce your, exactly, don't bother. I wouldn't do that. There is absolutely no logical, I believe that wholeheartedly. Keep your American citizenship. Why would you give it up for? And because there are people here a lot of Russians actually are doing this. They are flying to America, they're having their children there, getting their passports, and then they're buggering off back to Moscow. They don't want to live there. They don't have any affinity with the United States. Some of them stay there, but most of them go back to Russia. They just want that passport for their kids. You know, so you want to put yourself in a position where you have that passport for your kids. If you're going to have children and you're American, go back to America, have your kids, pop it out, then get out of Dodge. You know, you don't have to. Oh, really? $2,500 US. Is that how much it costs? I would never renounce my American citizenship. There is some consequences. Exactly. You still have to pay taxes. Oh, really? You still have to pay taxes? Wow. They still own you. Heavy, heavy, heavy. I did not know that. And you have to pay to renounce your citizenship. Yeah, I just heard $2,500. Wow. Okay. Good luck with that. Exactly. A bunch of Asians, they have the all American births and say, oh, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. They're just doing this. Exactly. So what's the point? You have that. It's not exactly a golden ticket because America isn't exactly the land of milk and honey, if you ask me, but it is, you know, it's another country where your kids could travel visa-free. It's another country where you can go back to at any time you want, you know. And even if it's just for visiting, you can do that. You have family there. You're likely to have family still in the United States. So why would you renounce your citizenship to make it harder for people to see you, to see your family members? It's a sad situation. Guys, listen, I'm going to sort of start wrapping things up now. I'm going to start wrapping things up. On, I don't know whether I'm going to do it tomorrow or Friday. I think I'm going to do it on Friday. We're going to go back over and speak about this video made by Human. We're going to watch that video, because not watch it, we're going to go through it. I'm going to try and share the screen so we can go through it together, because there is a lot to say. Oh, I didn't know that, Tanya. Oh, wow. I didn't even know that. So I think I'm going to do it on Friday, because it's a really important video. I want you to hear it for yourself. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I will be doing a live tomorrow, but we're going to go, actually, we're going to stay on subject. We're going to stay in the Gambia. We've got another video to go over tomorrow. Oh, man. I wish things would start to improve. I really do. I wish they did, but it's not happening. So guys, listen, I'm going to wind it up here. I'm going to read some of your messages, and then and keeping my American passport, but I want to get my Sierra Leone citizenship at some point. But I'm never moving to Tanzania. But no, so many questions. So many questions I want to ask you, Nicole. Tanya, the Gambian government is corrupt and will bankrupt the business. Wow. I had no idea. That is wild. So yeah, this is what, you know, I had somebody write that message. It's actually the Fresh Prince of Wakanda. He wrote a message saying, you know, there is no benefits in having a British company, when clearly there are plenty of benefits. And one of the benefits is the tax system. We have a good tax system in the UK. The taxes have gone a little higher, but it's pretty good. You know, I'm not, you know, compared to the rest of Europe, it's pretty good. Used to be 17%. I think it's gone up to 19 or something like that. It's okay. We live okay. And the thing I love about the UK is that it's a perfect mix of, oh, you love Tanzania. Fantastic. It's a perfect mix of socialism and capitalism, you know, and the British know how to use this capitalism to pay for the socialism, to pay for this welfare state, to make sure everyone is taken care of. No one is left. There is no man left behind in the UK. If you see people on the streets, they're on the streets out of choice. I'm sorry, but that's the truth, right? They are on the streets out of choice, not because they are forced to live on the streets. That's just the way it is, guys. So yeah, I do like that about the UK. And there are some things I do like about the UK, but not many. Keep me on this live. I keep trying to leave, but oh, sorry, I'm gonna leave now. Guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching for tonight. And thank you for the super chats, guys. Thank you very much for those. I always appreciate those. Lots of respect for that. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Subscribe if you wish. Please, guys, don't forget, please subscribe to the Oversight YouTube channel. It's a new YouTube channel. It's an Oversight YouTube channel, OVVERSIGHT, right? And I will leave the link in the description. It's not there now, but I will put the link in the description right now to it. Please follow if you can, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Thank you to all the Patreons as well, guys. Lots of love for you guys. Thank you very much. You've bought me a new microphone, by the way, guys. So just to let you know that I will set it up soon at some point. So thank you very much for everything, and I will see you guys in the next one, okay? Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Ta-ra a bit. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Bye-bye.